Kids of all ages can learn so much from picture books. You can tackle tough topics without actually having to go through the situation yourself. First up is Where Happiness Lives. You can even buy a cute little gray mouse in addition. Little gray mouse has this beautiful home with his family, and they have so much fun there. He sees the house of another mouse that of course is a little bit bigger and a little bit better than his. Then these mice see a house of another mouse that's even bigger and grander. Then they go up to the telescope of the large house. That mouse is looking down on little gray mouse's house and wishes she lived there because that is where happiness lives. Some books are also great for just cuddling up and loving on your little or big reader. My favorite for that is Love You Who. Now, one awesome thing about this is they don't ever say if it's a mom, a dad, a grandma, a grandpa, could be a big brother or sister even. It's just somebody who loves the little owl. So here are all my kisses and another one for sure. And of course you just kiss all over your little one. Some hugs and tickles too, and then perhaps some more. And you just kiss and love all over him. And then at the very end, whoever you are going to be, whatever you may do, wherever you may choose to fly, I'll always love you. So Cordelia is a little girl who can fly until one day others doubt that she can do it. So she starts believing them and everything in her world starts to turn gray and sad until she's like, wait a second, that's not true. I can fly. So she starts believing in herself again, and by the end of the book, she is flying and having a lot of belief in herself. This is a great, empowering story. Here is another silly, funny story that it's gonna have kids laughing, but also parents. There's a dad telling a story to his son, and you know sometimes when you're going to bed and your kid's like, tell me a story, and you just make it up on the fly? That's basically what this book is, but the kid interjects a lot and changes things in the story, so it gets to be pretty funny. So they start with The Prince, and the book is The Prince, the Witch, the Thief, and the Bears by Jamie's dad. And the little boy changes it as they go. He's carrying a horse on his back. Bears ends up being a witch with a frog in her pocket. That is her little buddy. I mean, this is the cutest, sweetest bedtime story that my son slept with his What If monster for years. Jonathan James and the What If monster is about a little boy who's kind of scared of a lot of things. He's afraid if he eats something, he's not gonna enjoy it. He's afraid there's a monster under his bed. So this book helped my son a lot when he was having some fears as he was 2, 3, 4, growing up, especially the monster in the closet. Jonathan James is scared of everything, and the What If monster is just always sitting on his shoulder giving him these like worst case scenarios. So then Jonathan James one day says, now wait just a minute, I have something to say. After hearing what ifs all through the day, I hear all your worries, I hear all your claims, but what if you're wrong? Says Jonathan James. And so then the story goes back through all the scenarios he had before, and he says, what if I climb to the top of the tree and I never slip up or skin up a knee? What if I jump right into the pool and everyone thinks I look really cool? And so he goes through and makes them all good things that are going to happen, seeing somebody else's point of view. So I was walking home from Grandma's house through the deep dark woods when I spied a strange little beast. He was stuck up in a tree and whining sadly. So I decided to rescue him. The beast's point of view. I was hanging from my favorite tree, singing happily to the birds when I was ambushed by a terrible beast. So it's the same story, but from two different perspectives. Can I join your club? Poor Duck is trying to get into everybody's club. But you know what? He's not a lion. He's not gonna get into Lion Club. Can he be a snake? No way. So he is not allowed into Snake Club. Eventually, he says, you know what? I'm gonna make my own club, and it's gonna be called Our Club, and everyone is invited. And you know what? Then everybody from all the other clubs wanna join Our Club, and anyone can join. So there is a bear, and his name is George, and he's sitting on a bench, and he's like, there's gotta be more to life than just eating berries and walking around the woods. And you know what? He finds a book lying in the forest one day. So he goes through town and he tries to find where this book belongs. He ends up going to a school, and the policemen aren't real happy with him, and he's just trying to learn how to read. A mom and her little girl, and they kind of adopt George, take him home, and they teach him how to read. So Clementine, the little girl, says, "I bet you can read this whole book now all by yourself." So George opened it up. Once upon a time, there was a large brown bear who found a book lying under a tree. He read the whole book all the way to the end. "Bravo," said Clementine. "We knew you could do it." And for George, that was just the beginning. Here is a fan favorite, Nibbles the Book Monster. This is the first one in the series, and there are other ones to choose from now. So Nibbles is a book monster, and he eats all the things, but his favorite thing to eat is books. He chews through the book as you go and causes all kinds of problems. He even chews through books and changes the story. Here's Goldilocks. He goes through the story and kind of messes all this stuff up. Goldilocks says, "It wasn't me, it was that monster." And then he goes through Little Red Riding Hood and changes that story, and even Jack and the Beanstalk. And then at the end, we're gonna catch Nibbles. I hear some munching and crunching, and he's eaten his way out again. And any kiddo loves to see their own name in a story. Abigail saves the day, or Raimi drives a digger. Abigail, the little squirrel, or Billy, or Bobby, or Sally, whoever your child is going to help these forest animals, and their name is going to be on every single page. And we can't forget to talk about classic picture books. This is our Peek Inside a Fairy Tale series. It has laser cut design, which makes for the most beautiful, intricate, detailed pictures. And at the very end, there he is as the prince. There are multiple in this Peek Inside a Fairy Tale series, and these are my favorite.